Hello everyone, as you can see, my walls are blank. It's because I'm packing up my room. I'm moving some of my stuff down to a new area. I'm not moving the UFO yet, guys. Don't worry. That's not for another, 2 weeks? 2 weeks, 6 days? I don't know. Sorry about the phone ringing in the background. But today, I am reviewing Kubo and the Two Strings by Leica Studios. Now, Leica Studios has been at the forefront of the stop-motion animation projects ever since Coraline came out, and that was kind of a sleeper hit. But ever since Paranorman, they've been having some really great recommendations. They've been having some really great movies. Now, aside from Box Trolls, the rest of the movies are great. I didn't like Box Trolls. I thought it was pretty garbage. The animation was pretty good, the sets were really good, the costume designs were kind of cool, but the story itself lacked. And so when I was looking at the trailer for Kubo, I got excited because it actually looked like it was going to be great. And it was going to be terrific. And it was going to be astounding. And that's what I got. The trailers did not lie, and you should believe the hype about this film. The stop motion is great. As with everything about this film is great. The acting, the writing, the direction, the art design, the stop motion, and this film itself employs some new techniques about stop motion, and I bet you 10 to 1, most other companies who will do stop motion from now on is going to use. According to some news articles with Leica Studios about their interviews about Kubo, they were saying that they mixed practical effects with, the stop motion and whatnot with CGI, and that really, really works. This entire movie is well done. The story it tells is very great. I just had fun with it. This is a fun movie that gets dark in the right places, and I'd say it's one of the best animated films of the year by far. And if it doesn't get that Oscar this year, I'm going to be pissed. If it goes to Zootopia, I'm going to be pissed. I like Zootopia, but I think Kubo and the Two Strings is honestly a better film than Zootopia. It tells a very intricate story that doesn't hide a lot of different issues. It deals with the issues of passing on. The whole cultural, it has all this cultural relevancy inside of itself. It has its own culture. And I don't know if it's actually based on real Japanese or Chinese mythologies, but I think a lot of the stuff that happens in this film that pertains to mythology is actually really good. The legends they tell about what happens when we die or whatnot, it's something that's really grand. The end of the film itself is actually pretty interesting. But if it's one thing I kind of have a problem with this film, it'll be it's the fact that it's a hero's journey. It's essentially the same sort of hero's journey that we've come to know. Person is lost or stranded, or just like some normal kid, but then gets thrown into the spotlight and has to go on this adventure to collect multiple objects to try to defeat one big bad guy, and that's pretty all there is. But what makes it different, what makes the story great, is the fact that it kind of adapts it in a different way. The way it tells its story is so unique, it's so vibrant, that I honestly think that this is kind of a refresher of the hero's journey. And I totally do think that Kubo has done that. Has totally done that. The editing itself is pretty great, and some of the reveals kind of were obvious. That's kind of another gripe I have, is that some of the reveals in this film is a bit too obvious, especially since you know that some of the voice actors are the same for other characters, and you kind of know what's going to happen. And that's kind of the hard thing about Kubo, is that while it is very entertaining, while it is a very well put together story, it's that it's kind of predictable, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit falter for me. It's just a bit predictable. However, the music score, everything about this movie, aside from its storytelling, is actually one of the greatest aspects about Leica Studios. And if this studio continues on this path, I know many other reviewers have been comparing Leica Studios to that of Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli, and you know what? I actually think it is. I mean, granted, they're not going to be as strong as Hayao Miyazaki's work, like Spirited Away, but they're pretty much on the path to do so. Paranorman was great. This movie was great. Coraline was good. They've been batting 3 for 4 in terms of their films. Now, I don't know if they've made other films besides Coraline, Paranorman, Box Trolls, and this movie, but I could certainly say that they're on the right track to becoming a fairly recognizable brand. And eventually, they might be overshadowing Disney pretty soon in terms of storytelling quality. And that's saying something, because the only other film studio that's really in the leagues right now is DreamWorks. And even then, DreamWorks has had its faults. So hopefully Leica Studios can pull an amazing movie for the next go-round. Because this is an amazing movie. But we need something that's stronger. We need something that's stronger, something that will blow everything out of the water. This movie was amazing. It definitely blows some stuff out of the water, but we just need that one more film, Leica. One more film. One more great film, and you could be solid. You're going to be a solid studio, Leica Studios. I can't praise you enough. This film is great. It has great characters, great writing, great direction. I could go on for all day to say how great it is. And besides its faults, it is a very entertaining and fun movie that you can go see with your friends and your family. Even take your dog with you. I don't know if the theater would allow a dog to be sitting with you in the theater. I don't know. But this is a great film. I do, however, think that it is kind of a little bit darker for younger kids. Because of its, some of the concept and some of the stuff that happens in the film. It's a little bit too dark for, like, younger children the age of, like, 4. But this is definitely one of the most... This is a great film. Definitely a great film. And I might just do an analysis of the film, just because there's so much hidden stuff about this film that I would love to see get analyzed. This is totally one for analysis, and I'm giving this movie a solid 9 out of 10. Definite Blu-ray buy, and a definite full ticket price. You are not going to be disappointed. This is a great film, filled with great characters again, great acting, great music, great... You know, everything's great. If you know Leica Studios, you already know it's going to be somewhat great. And the cool part about it is that I only live about 3 hours away from where they're located. Yeah, they're located in Hillsboro. And that's saying something, because in Oregon, there's not a lot of really talented filmmakers. But I think Leica Studios is really going up to bat against California right now. It's an amazing time for animation, and I think that Leica Studios will pull it off in the end. So, until next time at the movie theaters, I'll see you at the movies. Peace.